Happy Thursday, Rutgers. I'm Cassandra Sheese.
And I'm Jake Castro. We got a fantastic show lined up for you. It is January 24th, 2019.
Weather watcher Robert Bennett will give you the regional and big picture forecast for the day.
Our very own Cassandra Sheese will cover how Rutgers tackles the flu season.
Jennifer Wiseman will stop by today to further talk about the upcoming flu season.
We've got tons to get to. Let's wake up Rutgers.
Hello and welcome, Rutgers. It's great to be here on this rainy Thursday morning.
We're here to wake you up every Thursday morning this semester with all the exciting news, events, and weather. Well, Cass, we're back.
I know, I'm actually very happy to be back. I mean, break's nice and all, but I always enjoy coming back to school, getting into the swing of things, and kind of seeing my friends that I had missed for all that time. I mean, we had a month of winter break this time. So did you do anything fun over winter break, Jake?
I did. Well, I stayed at home for a couple weeks, then I took a nice trip with my family down to Florida, caught some sun. It was beautiful weather.
You really got so tan.
Yeah, can't you tell? No, when you're of my complexion, you get red. You don't tan at all. But what about you, Cass? Did you do anything fun?
So I did end up going to the beach as well, but in Delaware, so it wasn't too sunny and it wasn't too warm, but my family was all there and we celebrated all the way through New Year's, so it's nice to kind of see my cousins and grandparents who live farther away. And we did an escape room. I don't know if you've ever done one, but it was so fun and we made it out. So it was really exciting because I've never done one before and we made it out, so it's always good to win. But what about you, Robert? Anything fun you did over break?
Yeah. Escape rooms are actually really fun. I've done a few. What I did, I didn't really do too much. I was more relaxed the entire time. I did go see my friend in Southern Ocean County down in Little Egg Harbor, hung out with him for a few days. I haven't seen him in a while. And then I also hung out with a friend that was a former Rutgers student from last year. Met her at in like the seaside area. So definitely exciting, but my break was more of like a relaxed type of break. Back to you guys.
Well, no matter what you do, Cass, it's always important to just relax, take time away from school. And you said we had a full month off. You know, MLK Day was a week later than it was last year, so we really got a lot of time to relax. But it does feel good to be back in the swing of things.
No, I agree. But it's sometimes really hard to adjust. I mean, I have a really hard problem with my sleep schedule. I mean, when I'm on break, I sleep in, I go to bed later because I'm out with my friends and things like that. And then I come back to school and I have work in the morning, internship in the morning, classes in the morning. And it's kind of, you have to discipline yourself enough to go to bed on time, wake up early enough to get to class on time. And I think that's the hardest thing I have hard time adjusting to. But what about you? What's your hardest thing to adjust to?
Well, this semester in particular, all of my classes are on Cook Douglas, and me personally, I've mostly stayed on College Ave, so I don't really know Cook Douglas a whole lot, so I need to make sure that I'm going to class early, giving myself enough time that I find the building that I need to go to. I look up beforehand what bus stop I should be getting off. You know, it's something I do every semester, especially when I'm going to new places that I've never been before. That's something that I've always found easy. Yeah, I might be sitting in class just a little bit longer than I would like to beforehand, but it's better to be early than be late.
No, I totally agree. I kind of make my schedule purposely so that all my classes are on College Ave since that's where I live. That way I'm not going to all these different campuses because I'm not really too familiar with the bus schedule. I've always tried to be all on College Ave, so that's something I would definitely have a hard time adjusting to.
Well, it would be nice to have that luxury, but the cards were not in my favor this time. But hey, it's good to be back, and I'm really excited to get the first Thursday of the semester underway. And before we get to the rest of the show, let's see how much you know.
Do you know when the last day to add and drop a class is? We will find out the answer right after this.
Hey, do you want to go get lunch?
Sure, can you swipe me in though?
I guess, but you don't have any more meal swipes?
No, unfortunately I ran out.
Well, what are you going to do for food?
Right now I'm buying, but once my cash starts going down, I gotta look for other solutions.
Oh well, I have the perfect solution. Rutgers has a food pantry here on campus.
The Rutgers Food Pantry falls under the Off-Campus Living and Community Partnerships Office and is located at 39 Union Street on the College Avenue campus and is open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. When you walk into the office, just tell the receptionist at the front that you are there to utilize the pantry. They will then assist you in figuring out what to take and how much to take based on your personalized needs. For more information, visit www.foodpantry.rutgers.edu.
You can go to their Facebook page and like it for food pantry updates, or you can go to their website at foodpantry.rutgers.edu.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome back, Rutgers. Before the break, we asked, do you know when the last day to add and drop a class is? Now it's time to find out the answer.
The last day to drop a class is Tuesday, January 29th, and the last day to add a class is Wednesday, January 30th. Cass, have you ever dropped a class?
I actually have. Sometimes I think it's good to go to class, see how intense the syllabus is, and then determine whether you can put it in your schedule. I mean, I'm super busy. I was going to take 15 credits this semester and ended up dropping a class just to take 12. I know I can make up the credits in summer, and I took a winter course over break too. So there's always ways to make up those class credits, but it's good to make sure you have time for everything and time for yourself. Have you ever dropped a class?
Yeah, there have been a couple of times that I've shown up on the first day, heard what the professor had to say, and think, this is not for me. And it's very important that, you know, as college students, you have that luxury of choosing your schedule. You have, you can choose the classes that you want to take. And so I've had situations where I thought I wanted to take something, and it's not something I'm really interested in the end, and that's totally okay. And it's good that Rutgers gives you a week to do this, because now, I mean, everyone, by the time that next Tuesday comes around, you'll have that class once, and if you're lucky, 2 or 3 times. So you'll really get a real sense of what the class is going to be like for the rest of the semester.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important fact that students should know, because I think we get so caught up during the week that we don't realize that dropping a class and adding a class are on 2 totally different days. So by the time you're like, oh, I can add one more class, you can't drop one. So it's really good to know that you can drop before and add later. So something that you should really be thinking about this week, and something that I also need to learn this week, is what is going on with this weather. Over to Robert Bennett with the weather.
Good morning, Rutgers. It is weather watching time. Weather watcher Robert Bennett bringing you this forecast on the first Wake Up Rutgers back in the spring of 2019 semester. Looking at our weather headlines for today, it's going to be wet and windy, as we all saw. Make sure you have your umbrella out there, though the wind might make it difficult to keep your umbrella open. Temperatures will be dropping throughout the rest of the day and into the next couple of days. After this cold front comes through later on today, temperatures will be plummeting once again. Not as bitterly cold as we saw a few days ago when we had a morning low of 5 degrees, but cold nonetheless. And then we do have some wintry precipitation that will be possible late next week. We obviously have plenty of time to watch that. Today, high of 57 degrees. With mild conditions. Once again, those temperatures will be dropping with heavy rain throughout much of the state of New Jersey today. Winds will be transitioning as that cold front moves through from south to west, 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusting up to 45. Once again, it's going to be difficult to keep those umbrellas open when you have them, but keep the umbrella handy just in case. Tonight, we're going to get pretty chilly once again with decreasing clouds and a west wind of around 6 to 13 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. Later in the show, I'll be giving us a regional look and the rest of the 5-day forecast. Back to you guys.
Well, something I'm not complaining about is the warmth today. I mean, I know it is rainy, and who likes the rain, but it has been freezing these past couple of days. I mean, I think we were in the negatives at some point, so it's nice that today when I woke up, my weather app told me it was 52 degrees outside. I was very happy to see that.
Yeah, I should have checked the weather. I'm wearing boots, I got a sweater, I have my big winter jacket. I didn't plan for it.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
smarter than me.
I think the weather app is the first thing I look at in the morning. I mean, that's how I dress myself, Jake. You have to look at it. But no, I mean, with the rain, it's definitely rough, because that's when you get into the humidity and things like that. And then, you know what my hair looks like in humidity. We've talked about it before. So it's not something that I look forward to. But something I do look forward to are the exciting news and events we have coming up right after this.
Being a Rutgers student isn't always as sweet as it seems. If you're not prepared, you might find yourself needing some help.
I need help. I can't find my term bill.
Luckily, help is here. Getting to and paying your term bill is as easy as tying your shoelaces.
To get to your term bill, just go to studentabc.rutgers.edu and press the button that says Pay Your Bill. From there, you can log in with your NetID or RUID. The site will direct you to your account summary where you can find your term bill for any semester.
Okay, but how do I pay my term bill?
Great question.
For payment options, just refer to the right-hand side column on your account summary page. It's that easy.
Wow, that was really helpful.
All in a day's work.
Welcome back, Rutgers. I mean, it's so nice to have a break off, but there's always so many exciting things happening as so many news stories come out and so many events are now taking place since it's the first week back at school, so it's important that we just dive right in. A recent Rutgers study has uncovered a new gene, the NS2D2 gene, in cancerous prostate tumors that can indicate a high risk for cancer spreading. The gene was discovered using a computer algorithm developed to detect the cancer genes most relevant to humans that spread in a mouse model. Lead author for the study, Antonina Mitrofanova, an assistant professor at Rutgers School of Health Professions, says, if we can determine whether a patient's cancer is likely to spread at that time of the diagnosis, we can start them on a targeted treatment plan as soon as possible to decrease the likelihood of their cancer spreading. At this time, scientists are conducting research to find an appropriate drug to target the NSD2 gene, but in the meantime, they encourage doctors to practice screenings in an effort to treat high-risk patients as quickly as possible. Well, Jake, I think that's really important and really amazing that they found this gene. I mean, cancer is something that affects the lives of so many and so many families, so it's really important that they have something that can really stop it and maybe find the cure. You never know.
Well, cancer is never a topic that many people like to talk about, but it's great that Rutgers is taking the initiative because you'd rather be proactive than reactive. And that goes throughout all kinds of health, and you'll see this is a very health-oriented show. And another big thing that you really have to be proactive with is your flu shot, because this year's flu outbreak is increasing in New Jersey and nationwide, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which reports more than 6,400 cases of flu activity. The CDC reports that New Jersey is one of the states where the flu is widespread, with 400 cases of the virus documented. It is recommended that people still get the flu vaccination if they have not already. Even if you think that you have already had the flu, it is possible to get a second infection from a different strain, so immunization can still be beneficial, as the vaccination can reduce symptoms and the duration of the virus. The sooner you get treated, the quicker the virus goes away, so contact your doctor if you suspect that you have the flu. Now, Cass, you got your flu shot, right?
I actually have never gotten the flu shot. I mean, I know that's crazy, but I haven't.
I'm gonna move over here for the rest of the show.
I've never gotten the flu though, so I never have gotten the vaccine. But I know we have Julie Wiseman coming in to speak all about flu season, which is something I really look forward to actually, because I know it's really important and I know I should get it. But you know, it's something I know I need to look into more. But what about you?
Yeah, I get it every year. I don't miss it. I don't try to, I would rather get this shot. Yeah, it's a little bit of pain. You're sore for the next couple of days, but it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that I have the doctor's best way of me not getting sick, and I don't think anyone really likes getting sick, so.
Oh, definitely not, but it's really important to stay healthy during this time because there are so many exciting events that Rutgers has to offer. Start the spring semester off with a bang at the Spring Kickoff Concert presented by Rupa at the Livingston Student Center. This year's performer will be indie singer-songwriter Snail Mail with OSG as the opening act. So clear your schedule for February 1st because wristbanding starts at 7 p.m. and doors open at 7:45. Admission is free for all undergraduate students with an RUID, and they are welcome to bring one guest as long as they are all over 18 and can present a valid ID. Well, Jake, that's so fun. I mean, Rupa always puts on these amazing events, and to bring a concert, we've had so many performers in the past, and this is something that so many students look forward to. It's a great time to go out with your friends, enjoy the music, and just have fun.
Yeah, every semester they have Beats on the Banks. We've had people like Logic, Khalid, Amine came this year, but even like the smaller concerts that aren't Beats on the Banks that Rupa brings. We had the Bad Sons came last year, Snail Mail this year. It should be a great event. And it's so good that right here in the beginning of the semester, Rupa has all these events lined up. And another big event that's coming up is their annual Super Bowl celebration, which will be held at the Livingston Student Center. It all starts February 3rd at 5 p.m. with free food, drinks, and prizes. And then you can watch the Rams and the Patriots on the big screen with the Lombardi Trophy on the line. Celebrate the Super Bowl in style with an event you won't soon forget. For more information, check out rupa.rutgers.edu. Cass, you know how much I like football. You know I can't wait for the Super Bowl. I'm definitely going to have to check this out.
Yeah, no, I actually do really love the Super Bowl. I kind of follow football as soon as we start getting into the playoffs. I am disappointed that the Eagles aren't in it this year, but, you know, it's still going to be a good game. I mean, you always got to root for the underdog. That's my opinion. So it's nice that they can bring the college community together because I think so many people watch the Super Bowl. I mean, even if you aren't into sports, it's still such an exciting moment, you know? So that's something I'm really looking forward to. But something we talked about earlier was flu season and getting vaccinated and things like that. And I actually had the privilege to go to one of the flu clinics held on Bush this year. So let's take a look at the flu clinic right now.
Hello Rutgers, we're here at the Bush Student Center for the Fall 2018 Flu Vaccine Clinic. It's important for students to get their flu shots to protect themselves and others from getting sick. Let's go get vaccinated. The makeup of flu viruses can change from year to year, making it difficult to predict. Flu spreads through droplets when people sneeze or cough and on surfaces. You can stay healthy by washing your hands frequently, covering your mouth when coughing or sneezing, avoid touching your face, and disinfecting surfaces that may be contaminated. Vaccines do not give people the flu. Keep yourself and others safe by getting a flu shot. In the United States, flu shots are recommended for everyone ages 6 months and older. Flu season occurs in the fall and winter, peaking between late November and early March, and it's an epidemic every year. The flu can be a very serious illness, especially in young children. Scientists make the vaccine before the flu season starts by predicting which flu strains are likely to be most common during the upcoming season. Strains of the flu virus are constantly changing, so a new flu vaccine is made each year. The flu shot is the best way to protect yourself and family from the flu. Well, Rutgers, it's important to stay healthy during this wintertime season. Make sure to get your flu shot and protect those around you. I'm Cassandra Sheese, RUTV.
Flu shot!
No, needles, pain, not my thing, so I did not want it. But you see how happy people are getting it. You know they're going to be healthy.
Because they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, no, I know. But they're healthy, they're happy, and that's all that matters. And we have a great interview coming up right after this who's going to talk all about flu season. So look forward to that, Rutgers.
Did you lose your ID? Not sure of what to do? First, send an email to lostcard@aps.rutgers.edu to suspend your card so no one else can use it. Next, visit one of the RU Connection offices to have your lost or stolen ID card replaced. There is an office located on every campus. Rutgers Hall on College Avenue is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Bush, Cook Douglas, and Livingston campus housing offices are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5 p.m. The Public Safety Card office is open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Fridays. You will need to pay for your new ID with $20 in RU Express. If you don't have RU Express, you can go to the cashier's office next to Records Hall before getting a new ID. Make sure to provide a form of unexpired government-issued photo identification when asking for a new ID. It's that easy to replace your ID. Make sure to keep it in a safe place so you don't lose it again. For more information and a more detailed explanation, visit pst.rutgers.edu/rules.php.
Welcome back, Rutgers. Here with me is Jennifer Wiseman, and she's a advanced practice nurse with Rutgers Health Services. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks so much for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here.
So I think first things first, what are some of the symptoms of the flu?
Well, the flu comes on really, really suddenly. It's very different than a cold. A lot of times a cold will cause, low-grade fever. It's kind of a gradual thing. You'll get a stuffy nose, your throat will be scratchy. With the flu, you feel like you've been hit by a ton of bricks. You'll be fine at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and at 4:10, you feel like every muscle in your body hurts. You have a headache, congestion, sore throat, you're coughing, and you just feel like you can't even move. It's terrible.
That doesn't sound fun, but what are some of the most common ways for the flu to spread?
The flu is very, very contagious. It's a viral infection, and it's spread through people coughing or sneezing in your environment and you breathing in the droplets. They also can settle on surfaces like desks or computer keyboards or whatever. So a lot of times people will get the flu by touching contaminated surfaces and then touching their face, like rubbing their eye, scratching their nose. They've just infected themselves with the flu virus.
How important is it to get your flu shot?
That's a really good question. You know, a lot of people think that if they're young and healthy, that they really don't need to get a flu shot. That's so not true. Yes, it's very, very important for the elderly. It's very important for people with diabetes or asthma. But 80,000 people died of the flu last year in the United States. Just in 1 year, just here in the United States, where we have good medical care. But the flu can be very, very deadly. And the more frequently you get a flu shot, the more the antibodies tend to build up, and you will have some antibodies lasting from year to year. So it's very, very protective to get the flu shot. This year it happens to be a very good match as well, so the flu shot is particularly helpful this year.
Well, I'll have to relay that message to some other people that sit in this chair, but for students that are on campus and can't get their flu shot, maybe they're out of state or something, what programs are available for students?
Well, we do have 3 flu shot clinics most seasons. We already had one in October and another in November, but our final flu shot season, or flu shot clinic, is actually coming right up on Tuesday the 29th of January. It's going to run from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 9 o'clock at night at Livingston Student Center and also at the Sojourner Truth Apartments, the Yard, at College Avenue campus. If people are interested in knowing more, they can go to health.rutgers.edu/flu, and there are places that you can fill out some forms in advance and just make sure that you know exactly where to go and what time to be there. So that's our biggest program, is trying to make sure that people are immunized. You also can just come to the health center, make an appointment with one of the nurses. We start giving the flu shot in late August or early September and continue giving the flu shot all the way through the end of March or beginning of April. It does take about 2 weeks, though, for the flu shot to become effective, so it's important to get it as soon as you can.
One last thing, what are some of the preventative measures that students can take to avoid getting the flu?
The most important thing is to just take really good care of yourself. It's super important to get enough sleep. 7 to 8 hours a night is what's recommended, and that's especially important during times of high stress like midterms or finals. You need to be eating healthily, some fruits and vegetables every day, getting good regular meals. Washing your hands frequently is definitely very, very helpful. If you're sick, or if you're around people who are sick, wearing a mask or just staying home when you're sick is actually really important, and learning how to keep your hands off of your face. I would recommend also that people get a thermometer, because you're not going to know if you have a fever for sure if you can't measure your temperature. If you do get sick, be aware that even if you can't find an appointment online when you try to get an appointment at the health centers, we always have same-day appointments available, and if you can't find something online, please call at 848-932-7402. We almost always can find an appointment for you within the next day or 2 at the latest if someone is really feeling ill.
Well, thank you, Ms. Wiseman, for coming in and talking to us about the flu season and how students can stay healthy during the school year. Back after this.
Thanks.
The Rutgers libraries have some of the biggest resources this university has to offer. There are 9 libraries located throughout all campuses with convenient hours to fit any student schedule.
The Alexander Library on College Ave campus is open 24 hours, but before 8 a.m. and after 10 p.m., a valid Rutgers ID is required. The Art Library, located on College Ave behind Scott Hall, is open from 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. The Carr Library on Livingston campus is open 24 hours, but before 8 a.m. and after 10 p.m., a valid Rutgers ID is required. The Chang Library on the Douglas campus is open from 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. The Mabel Smith Douglas Library on the Douglas campus is open 24 hours, but before 8 a.m. and after 10 p.m., a valid Rutgers ID is required. The Library of Science and Medicine on Bush campus is open 24 hours, but before 8 a.m. and after 10 p.m., a valid Rutgers ID is required. The Math and Physics Library inside of the Hill Center on Bush campus is open from 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m.
There's plenty of space for everyone at the library, so come inside. Shh.
Welcome back, Rutgers. Well, Jake, that was a great interview. I learned so much, and I definitely will attend that flu clinic in January at the very end. I mean, I will go get my flu shot, and then I'll be all safe and sound. But something I can never get sick of is our very own Robert Bennett.
Thank you, 38 up in Syracuse with icy conditions, mixture of rain and snow. Over in Pittsburgh, similar condition, 34 over with rain and snow over there too. Similar in Scranton. You can see the Northeast is divided in about half, 50s, near 60 degrees in portions of the eastern portions of the Northeast, 30s to the west. So you can see a cold front does exist, stretching northeast to southwest across the region. The temperatures will continue to fall tonight. Still 48 degrees in Scranton. New York City's 57 with windy conditions. The winds will be gusting to around 40 to 50 miles an hour across the entire coastline. Up in Boston, I don't think you can see. Okay, tonight the temperatures are going to drop for everybody into the 20s all around. 23 up in Syracuse with some possible lingering snow showers. Similar story in Pittsburgh with a temperature of 19 degrees. 23 in Scranton. Camden, our other Rutgers campus, comes in at 28, and down at DC, similar conditions around 30 degrees at night. For your 5-day forecast, there's that windy conditions today, 57 degrees with a low of 25. Winds could gust up to 40 to 50 miles an hour at times. We cool down significantly tomorrow, 36 degrees is the high temperature, 15 as a low. For the weekend, we still stay cold on Saturday, 29 degrees with a low of 22. Warm slightly back up to around average for this time of year, 41 on Sunday with a temperature of 24 as the low. And then Monday, we're going to be watching some winter precipitation beyond that. So possibly coming in Monday night for the Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be definitely watching that at Weather Watchers. So as we continue, speaking of Weather Watchers, check us out at RUTV channel 24/1 every 15 minutes to get the latest updates on any winter precipitation that is to come in the next coming weeks. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/RUWeatherWatcher, at Twitter at RUTVWW, using that hashtag RUWeather, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel at RUTV Weather Watcher. Back to you guys.
Well, thank you, Robert, for a wonderful weather report. As always, I'm glad I know the temperature across the whole region, but I look forward to your report every time, and we'll be back right after this.
Being a Rutgers student isn't always as sweet as it seems. If you're not prepared, you might find yourself needing some help.
I need help. I can't find my term bill.
Luckily, help is here. Getting to and paying your term bill is as easy as tying your shoelaces.
To get to your term bill, just go to studentabc.rutgers.edu and press the button that says Pay Your Bill. From there, you can log in with your NetID or RUID. The site will direct you to your account summary where you can find your term bill for any semester.
Okay, but how do I pay my term bill?
Great question.
For payment options, just refer to the right-hand side column on your account summary page. It's that easy.
Wow, that was really helpful.
All in a day's work.
Welcome back, Rutgers. Well, here we are, Cass. The end of the first show of this semester, one down, 14-15 to go.
Yeah, and I mean, we were here all last semester, so it was super exciting. And we gave them the little teaser last episode that we were like, who knows if we'll be back, and here we are. So it's definitely something that I look forward to because, you know, we don't get to do this every day of our lives. And I mean, it's something I think we're both interested in doing for futures and things like that. So it's definitely cool to all come together with your fellow students and things like that and put on this great show.
Yeah, you know, my schedule is pretty hectic this semester, Monday to Friday, you know, between the internship, other clubs, and 15 credits. I'm actually taking 16 credits this semester on top of it. And, you know, it's all worth it because every Thursday morning I get to come here, I get to sit next to you, and I get to be with all these tremendous people behind the scenes getting to do what we like to do.
And also, I mean, you have your exciting internship starting this semester, and I'm staying where I've been, so I'm just getting back into the swing of things, but that's something that you should definitely look forward to. I know we talked about it last episode, but you'll be starting that soon, so that's super, super exciting.
It should be a very exciting semester. Really looking forward to it.
Oh, I bet. Well, Rutgers, that will do it for today's episode.
More events happening this week. You can go to getinvolved.rutgers.edu or ruevents.rutgers.edu.
Follow us on social media by searching RU Network, and follow us on Twitter by searching @WakeUpRutgers. We love hearing from you.
Thank you for tuning in, and thanks to Jennifer for joining us.
I'm Cassandra Sheese.
And I'm Jake Cosgrove. We'll see you next time.